85 years ago, President Franklin Roosevelt had a stark warning for a nation just coming out of a Great Depression and standing on the edge of a war he knew was coming. We must especially beware of that small group of selfish men who had clipped the wings of the American eagle in order to feather their own nests. Today, those warnings seem more prophetic than ever. This country is going in the wrong direction, and we're becoming a place that many of us don't recognize. And it's not just the politics of the headlines. Our views used to be shaped by our values and our outlook on the world. Today, they're shaped by what internet algorithms tell us they should be. If you're liberal, you get liberal content. If you're conservative, you get conservative content. And that content becomes like an old-fashioned sugar high, piling on more and more to the point where we can't see the forest from the trees and the point where we can't see another point of view. And here's the problem. Much of that content is either distorted at best or fabricated at worst. And to make matters worse, advances in artificial intelligence are giving unscrupulous people power to manipulate information to their benefit and to the rest of our detriment. So where does all that leave us as a people? We've stopped talking to each other, and instead all we do is talk at each other. So now we're living with precisely what President Roosevelt warned us about so long ago. We live with the most unscrupulous, the most incompetent, the most malevolent, and the most corrupt administration we've seen in modern times. It's not even a political ideology as much as a parasitic infection wrapped in a cult of personality. Our country is more divided than at any time since the Civil War, and our current administration takes advantage of our divisions at every opportunity. The last thing they want is for people to start coming together again and for people to start talking to each other again. Because if we did that, it would expose them for what they are. That's why I created Between the Lines Politics. It's not about defending a party, it's not about scoring debating points, and it's definitely not about adding more noise. It's about stepping back, looking at the full picture, asking better questions, and finding that common ground we keep overlooking. Because if we're being honest, a lot of what passes for analysis today is either too shallow to add any value or too complicated to be of any use. So here, we'll talk about the headlines while keeping the big picture in view. Where it helps, we'll look at underlying data without getting too obscure. And where it matters, we'll look at things from an historical perspective because most of our problems didn't just happen overnight. And we'll try to connect the dots in ways that actually make sense. I come at this from a moderate Democrat perspective, but this channel isn't about ideology first. It's about reality first. It's about being honest about what works and what doesn't, and where both sides might be getting it wrong. And let me be clear about something. Leadership matters. Truth matters. Accountability matters. And when those things break down, when facts are ignored, trust is eroded, and institutions are tested, it affects all of us, regardless of party and regardless of point of view. So if you're tired of the noise, if you're looking for clarity instead of outrage, and if you believe we can still find solutions to our common problems, you're in the right place. This is Between the Lines Politics, where we look past the headlines, ignore the noise, and try to have better conversations.